stop being so scared of doing the work twice. I had this thought today, or I thought like, okay, right now I'm recording a course. I thought like, yeah, I should record the course now. I have the idea right now. I want to record it. And then my thought was like, no, let's do it tomorrow. Tomorrow you can do it in your prime time. You have the most energy. Do it then. Just do it then. Don't do things now. Do it when you have the best performance or shit. I was like, okay, no, never mind. I'm not doing this. Then I was like in the gym, going to the gym instead of working that. And then came the thought of me like, why the fuck didn't I just start recording? Of course, first of all, I was overthinking, but the most important part was I was scared to do the work twice. I was scared to do the work twice, which just literally means I was so, which is basically means I would rather do the work later than just doing it now, not being satisfied with it and doing it twice. Of course, it really matters which specific thing you're working on. If you're, for example, doing a video and you're like, yeah, this edit I don't like, let me re-record that, that's okay. If you're, of course, some nuclear engineer and you need to be extremely specific so no one gets nuked, then okay, that advice is not for you. But in many things, especially when you want to work, just start doing it. Because when you start doing it, you get into this role, you're slowly getting better with it, you're slowly getting more into it. And I found that when you just start, you don't need to be so focused on perfection. If you're trying to be perfect, you will never be perfect. Just do it. You will get better either way. And when you start, for example, me just start recording this, you will get better a lot easier later on. As I said, it's always better to do it now and fix it later than do it later. Again, it's just procrastination. It's like excuse for you to do it. You can just record. Like all the people I talk to, they just record. For example, they just record their shit and don't overthink it like extremely. So they just do the work now. And I thought like, okay, that's something which just holds us back in some sort of sense. You just have this feeling that you need to only work when you're in a perfect condition. Now you just hate, I can't work now because statistically speaking, you don't have as much brain power. The more you learn over your body, the more excuses that sounds right will occur. Don't get me wrong, recording a course in the morning first thing is probably better than doing nothing. It's like probably the best time to record because like again, in the morning you have a clear mind and shit and you can just straight on do the most important task. Don't get me wrong. What did get me wrong though was that your brain not only involves one region, not only the smart person involves, like, okay, I can be better in this way. Also, your monkey brain evolves in being like, now I have better excuses not to do the work. Just doing the thing. Stop the thing I found like the most important task, especially like in business and shit, is, and when you're trying to be productive, is just doing it now. And nowadays, we are all, like specifically you, for example, are probably a pretty intelligent person because you're in your free time and you're watching a video about productivity. And the more you learn, we have so much information, and the more we learn, the more better excuses we can create because we have like good information, but instead of using it to the right side, for example, okay, I'll do the most important task in the beginning because then I have the most energy and have the most brain powers. You just use it as an excuse like, okay, now I have another task, but I already did the most important task already, so I don't do it because that's important. So I'll just do it another day when I have more brain points. Don't get me wrong. There is, of course, specific things, especially when you work like physically, like, oh no, I'm nearly dead, but I need to do one more set of like arms. For example, you're training and shit, and like, yeah, I want to train my arms, but you're already dead. If you say like that, for example, you can like, okay, tomorrow. You can train them tomorrow. There's no problem in that. But when we talk, for example, specifically recording videos, writing that email, like other pre-things, it of course doesn't need to be something that you instantly need to get out. For example, when you making an email for your email list, just saying, okay, don't do it now, I will do it tomorrow, will not help. Doing it now and checking it again tomorrow will be 100% better. When you're doing tasks that needs a lot of brain power. For example, like what are tasks that takes a lot of brain powers? For example, when you, for example, in an agency business, you write emails. Damn, that's thick. Wait a second, can I get this shit a little bit? That's better. When you, for example, in agency business right now, the one of our asks, for example, one important task, for example, is when specifically talking about acquiring people. It's, for example, your email that you send out mass. For example, if you're doing email marketing, that's something you can do, produce enormous amount, and you need to write an email. How it's called again? You write like one email and then you send it to like thousands of people per day. So you write it and say like, that's a very important task because for your email campaign, you can already write it right now. You don't need to send it out immediately, but you can just do it now and then say, okay, to the next day, yeah, probably we'll do this like that or like that. For example, for me right now, I'm doing like my course right now called Level Out. As you can see, it's not really finished yet, but I already did this. I already did like the things, and instead of saying, oh, no, I need to do this tomorrow, I did it today. That's like a very important thing. You need to do things now, and you can always make them more perfectly, a little bit better in any way. You can, for example, record a video like me doing right now, and then you say afterwards like, this video was not good, but I like the idea. You did something. The most important task when doing productivity is doing it now. Something you need to learn. What is the biggest thing you need to learn when you're trying to be productive is instantly doing it, instantly taking action. That's why I thought myself, if you're scared to do the work twice, you don't do it instantly. The most important thing is always do it now. That's the most important part. You need always aim for the one thing, and it's instantly doing the thing you want to talk about. My space, of course, for example, recording a course, writing a script, planning videos, planning a course and shit. That's the most important task. So always do it now. For example, if you're having problems right now, under this video, there's a link where we can get like a free call with me, where I help you personally for 1 hour to find out what is your biggest problem right now, what is your goal, and how we can resolve it together. If you're interested in it, don't just think like, yeah, I will probably have a look later. No, go in the descriptions, click that link, and instantly book a call. Just as an example, you need to stop thinking so much. We are in we right now. There's a perfect phrase for that. It was we drown in information, but what was it? Thirst. What was it? We drown in information, but thirst for wisdom. Which just basically means there's so much information. You can see thousands of videos like this. We get millions of different opinions and information. You have ebooks, you have podcasts, you have YouTube video, you have like that's not what I want, right? Videos. You have so many sources of information, but you're still thirsting, like you're still thirsting for wisdom, something you can actually do. Most people, and I fell for this trap myself when I was younger, I was learning so many things. I watched like so many self-improvement videos, and every video I was like, okay, I learned this, now I learned this, now I learned this. This was a productive day. What did I do from this? Fucking none, man. That was the biggest problem I had. I had so much information, but I didn't do any of that. That's why it's so important, again, to do it now. Always do things now. You thought like, hey, for example, you thought like, hey, again, like an agency, for example, how would I crack this joke in an email? Write it instantly. Write this complete email down. You don't need to send it, but just write it down. Do it now. You thought about for example, I just thought about that when I was in the gym. I came home, washed, and now I'm doing this video. Is this the best time to do a video for me? No, it's not in the morning. What is it? It's 8 p.m. right now, for example. I'm tired. I ate everything. I was in the gym and shit. But now I still just fucking do it now because I had this thought. I was not able to do it when I was in the gym. So instead of like saying, yeah, I will do this tomorrow. No, I'm doing it right now. And that's the most important thing. You need to learn to do it now. The more you resist, like the more you put space in, like that's, for example, that's your thought. That looks disgusting. Let's just say that's your, that's like, yeah, no, that's your thought. That's like your idea, your thought that you have right now. That's like the being, I have no idea. And this is do it now. The most perfect famous, you have an idea, you instantly do it. But as I said again, the more information you have, the more barriers you get in some way. Stupid people don't think about their perfect execution plan. They just do it like, oh, I think I should do that. Yeah, okay, I'm doing it. And people like us, like you and me, are pretty intelligent. We look at self-improvement, read self-improvement books about how to be more productive, how to get like the most energy to be productive in work, in fitness, in life. But at the same time, we build some type of thoughts. For example, my thought doing this video, my first breaking thing was like, it's not my peak brain hour where I can do the best hour, do like the best work. And that's why you need to break it. Second thought, for example, was I'm tired. I'm tired because I came from the gym. I was already late. It's time for me to go to sleep and shit. But you just need to, let's like the dramatic effect of destroying the wall. Don't ever fucking judge me on my artist thing. Don't ever fucking do that shit on me. So you need to break through. That's like breaking, like glass shattering. I'm a good artist. Fuck you. It's just like you need to pierce through these thoughts and just do it now. Now. That's the most important task. Productivity, of course, don't get me wrong. There are so many things of productivity. It's like a whole spectrum, which I all teach you in my program Level Out. Right now for pre-sale, by the way, if you want to buy it now, and when it's finished, the price doubles. So it's a second link if you're interested in that. But there's so many small things in this bubble that you can learn from Peak Brain Tower, Session of Obsession, over Task of the Day, shit like that. But the most important task, you can know all this, like that's all the information you know. But when you don't do it, now, this information is garbage. You can't like, you don't need to learn it. The most important thing is always to do it now. I wasted roughly like 4 years or something like that. I wasted enough 4 years. I learned so many things and I wasted so many years because I never took action. And that's why it's so important to do it now. My personal motto is try and fail, but never fail to try. And that's why I found it so absurd that I was okay with being scared to work twice. Don't get me wrong, it's not like it's doing every day. It was just like today. Making a course was, for example, pretty new to me. Normally I'm just doing YouTube videos for like, okay, I want to put everything in with the highest quality that I can think of. So I was scared to do it twice. This never happens to me when I'm recording videos. It only happens when I was like thinking about that course. So what did I do? I had that thought, I need to record it. I broke through this, like I need to do it tomorrow. I need to do it. I'm tired and shit. And I did it now. I did it before this video. And that's what was just so important that I nearly didn't do anything just because of an excuse of it's not my big pay, no, I don't have so much energy right now, I'm tired and all that shit. Just do it now. That is the most important thing. That's what that's like the difference between the old you and the new you, old you. If you can't read this, don't worry, bruh. I can't read it myself. I have not the best when it comes to like writing and shit. It doesn't look good, but that's why I'm explaining to you. Never complain about that, bitch. But again, the most important part is this person overthinks things and listen to this like procrastination voice, and this guy, the new you, just do it. Just do it, or do it now. That's the most important task. If you watch videos and you don't take actions, this will you fuck you up so hard. I did this and it was very, very shitty for me. That's why I found it so fucking important to tell you this. And that's why you should stop being scared to do the work twice. Your most important thing, again, is you have your thought and then you do it. Nothing in between. That's the only two things you should ever think about. Your thought, take action. Hey man, I should probably start doing YouTube. The next hour you should have done like your first type of video. For example, the first video will never be good, so just start posting. Your first email for an email campaign will not be the best. Just write it. Just stop being scared of doing the work twice. And again, it's always better to do it now and fix it later than do it later. And that is something I will always be holding on to. It's a very, very important thing that I needed to tell you, because I have the feeling you have the same problem as me. And that's why it's so important to get to train this, that you have a thought, like an idea. It's like this is now you will witness a beautiful brain. That's a brain. Write it down. Brain. That's a brain. It makes like electricity. It's like, I have a thought. And then you instantly take action. That's you. With a bubble like, I take action. Take action. Good, bro. You have an idea? You do it. And the more successful people are, the quicker they do it. If I'm having, I have this thought, but I think it's a little bit weird to tell you guys. But I watched like a video where it's like, I was someone, there was like a video with Tony Robbins and Alex Hormozi, and they talked about different things, and they talked about, he doesn't want to take a child, like have a child. And then he talked with him, and afterwards, like, I want to have a child. And I forgot about that. And like, I think it was a lot later, I think like 4 months or something later, there was like a short video, like a TikTok or something that I saw while doing like research, was like about taking action instantly. And Alex Hormozi like said like, we got a baby. We now like had an announcement that they are like pregnant and shit. And someone just like traced it back and said the probability that they ended that conversation, got to the next room, fucked and got pregnant is pretty high. Of like, damn, that is like this principle. Your brain says, I should have a kid. I should have a kid. And the next thing is, I'm taking action. I don't know why I thought about this right now, but that's just a perfect example. The more you say, like, okay, you have an idea, you want to do it, like, stop thinking about things, just do things. I have an idea about a video. Wait, that's not the title. I have an idea about a video. I'm doing the video. You have an idea for a business email. Make a draft for that email. You can always perfect it later if you're not like satisfied with it. Or what are other things that people can be productive in? For example, if you're like in video games and you're making video games, you have an idea for a specific mechanic. You write the first part of the code. I'm not perfectly into games development shit, but I have like a few people in the group that it was like specifically only doing that. And he's also like, he had a thought and then I just instantly did it. We were like in conversation, and the first thing he did was like, oh bro, give me like 10 minutes. I just had an idea and he coded that shit and like, oh, it works. Okay, thank you for waiting. I just want to implement something. He gets shit done. That's why you should not be scared to do it twice. Stop thinking so much and just do the fucking work instantly. With that, try, fail, but never fail to try. See you in the next video, bro. Bye-bye.